Do you really think you know the Antichrist? In principle, let me tell you that your mere knowledge of who that Antichrist is negates the idea that his fitna is the biggest fitna that mankind has ever known and will ever know. In fact, the mere knowledge of something negates the concept of sedition and quackery itself. A strange-looking creature, one-eyed, has a lot of gold and food, and performs many dazzling deeds, the greatest of which is a dazzle that is not much more than the dazzle found on radio waves, television, or the Concorde plane, or the American B-55, and not even more dazzling than the Turkish witch, the Turkish drone Akinci, and even perhaps no more impressive than the mobile phone in your hands now. And before that, while the Quran explains very clearly, indeed, that man produced a real calf for the people of Israel. Respected scholars insist that it is still a golden calf that makes a sound and is mounted in a slightly elevated place. Then the scholars and sages of Israel began to revolve around him, considering him a god. They revolve around a golden calf that any jewelry maker can make like. These are the scholars who were taught at the hands of the one who spoke to God, Moses. These are the scholars who witnessed the sea split into two halves and crossed through it. Those scholars who saw all the magic of Pharaoh and did not care much about it and remained believers. And the question is now, who is the Antichrist? Who are the impostors? What are the acts of quackery that can change your mind and your approach and your actions? I will tell you. While you are waiting to see a creature with one eye until you say to him, I know you, you Antichrist. Darwinian theory of evolution was formulated in a really impressive way, which was enough to make millions of people leave faith in God and rush towards atheism. This really happened, my friend, and you don't know that he is the Antichrist. While you are immersed in the form and being of the golden calf, more or less corruption in the Catholic Church was spread in Europe. And that was enough to make millions of new people leave the faith and embrace secularism, then gradually outright atheism over a generation or two at most. This really happened, my friend, and you don't know that he is the Antichrist. While you insist, O chaste, honorable, noble woman, who has food for her day, insisting that a mountain of gold to the left of the Antichrist will not discourage you, even for a moment, from preserving your honor and your religion. There are deals that have been made with other women who are no less honorable and chaste than you, where their honor was purchased for one loaf of bread, even though they have all your noble qualities, except for one adjective, which is that they do not have food for their day. You might say that this is impossible with an honest woman. The simple answer we will all face. Have you already had this experience? And when the answer is no, will be the response. So we shouldn't talk about something we don't know. This is the ABCs of logic. In the real world, one loaf of bread offered to a hungry person is enough to make him think about it, while offering a single bottle of milk to a baby whose stomach was writhing with hunger is enough to make a person think about it more seriously, while a bottle of milk with a bottle of expensive medicine for the same sick baby, enough for the mother to accept it immediately. And at this point the quackery continues too, where people accuse her of having sold her honor, but the fact that she did not sell it. In fact, her honor was stolen from her, because simply this is not the price in the market, where the real price is known, where this or that gets paid $1 million when you do the same thing in a series or movie. So did the starving woman really sell her honor? And even if it was originally not noble and honorable, In fact, according to the data of the market and the global stock market for prostitution, it was stolen, my friend. She took $1, while the price, for the dishonest, is $1 million. In fact, if you continue to list the corridors of the Antichrist and the impostors, we will not finish talking. In fact, the Antichrist has already been present among us for hundreds, if not thousands, of years. And his collaborators are no less dangerous than him. They are the ones who make everything for him, and he will only come out in order to sit on the throne of the Antichrist. To look at people who have already worshipped him before he came out. In fact, he is practicing deception on his loyal followers themselves, where he exploits them since the beginning of history without telling them that he is very weak without their help and impressive cooperation. In fact, the hand of the Yemeni Antichrist and his strong forearm is all who make you poor. He is all who makes you ignorant. He is all who makes you delusions and gives you lies. He is all who always tells you half the truth and hides the other half from you, and makes you yourself as if you are one-eyed. He is everyone who enjoys your torment and guides you to the wrong path, not the straight path. It's enough.